Okay, y'all ain't ready for this.
Oh my gosh.
It's our fearless leader. It's our queen. It's our sister. It's our.
There's very few people that I would wake up this early for, to be honest.
I can hear it in your voice. You sound.
I'm fighting for my life right now. But we have so many amazing guests this season. But we had to start with
numero uno.
Yeah, we had to start with our girl,
our baby, our sweetheart, our love of our life, the iconic, the amazing America Ferrera. What's up, mama? Woo! Ooh, ooh.
Now that's the appropriate level of excitement and screaming that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Look, when
I told you
we got when I signed on.
We were saving it.
Nothing from you. Saving it.
We were saving our excitement.
When I tell you guys, we had 30 seconds before we gave her the intro, and she was upset because we weren't squealing and happy enough to see her.
We were told that we were not excited enough to see her and that we were icing her out. We're off to an amazing start.
You two are always icing me out.
She's always said that.
Since forever.
Because you're like, oh, we're mother and son, and we have a special little thing going on, and you're just the third wheel, and we just like to make fun of you.
Okay, you're never the third. You're not the third wheel, but we do like to make fun of you.
I will say, we do every time we're hanging out. Not every time, but a lot of times when we're hanging out having fun, we will just send her videos.
Yeah, just making fun of her.
Be like, what's up? Why you're not here? And she's like, fuck you guys, leaving me out all the time. How's it going?
Good. I have a week of press here for The Lost Bus. It's rainy. It's gray.
It's raining here too.
It is raining here. We're obviously here to talk about Ugly Betty. Hello.
We're going to get into it. Like, do you even remember? I mean, it was so long ago.
I mean, it was so long ago. And I feel like, wow, I can't believe I'm old enough to like forget entire like episodes of my life. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how do I not remember doing that insane thing? Like there's a lot I don't remember. I mean, I remember the broad strokes, obviously, but have you guys gone back and rewatched?
So America, guess what? Mark has never watched the show. So we're doing the rewatch and he's watching it for the first time. So it's super cool.
Yeah. No. You never watched this show. You're not a fan of Ugly Betty.
Well, it's so funny. I've seen the pilot and I saw the series finale when they aired. But now watching it back, I feel like every episode that we come in here and recap, I'm like, this is a good show, guys. Like, I really like it.
Yeah. I think 16 million people felt the same way at the time. But it wasn't enough for you to watch it, Mark.
It was not enough. But now, in hindsight, it's fun to watch it now because I'm like, I just don't remember. Like, I just don't recall like looking at that kid. I'm like, who is that? You know what I mean? Like, that's
God.
like a child.
That must be so crazy for you. Like, I mean, you were a literal baby.
A literal baby.
I look at it and I'm like, I was a child. I don't feel like the same person at all.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine for you. You were actually a child.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a question that I wanted to ask you too, because both of us kind of did it when we were so young. You were like 21 when we started, right?
I was so young. I was 21.
But like, because you were the closest person, weirdly enough, in age to me.
That's right.
Like, so, I mean, 21 and 11 are very, very disparate ages. But like, I guess I did want to ask you, but you already answered it. Like, how much you still feel like that person or not?
I've changed. I mean, I feel like I've turned into 3 different people since then, since 21, luckily. But it's the things like whenever I see you guys, or like I ran into Yuri last week and I saw Chris Gorham the week before, or, it's like I feel right back in that place that we were in. I'm like, I still feel all the love and joy and excitement. And I feel like we could go back on set tomorrow and it would feel exactly the same. Like it feels like that close. But in terms of like the person I will say like, it's hard to watch yourself when you're in something. And I feel like I could not watch myself on the show with any objectivity whatsoever. Like I could not tell if this was horrible, if it was great, if I was a disaster. And I think when it first came out on Netflix, I think I did like a little, like, beginning of pandemic, I was like, I'm going to do a Betty rewatch. And it was like, I managed to get through like 2 episodes, and then I was like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot of stuff for me. So I'm maybe not going to do that. But I do like watch it and go, like you, Mark, I'm like, that was so good. And also, like, I can watch myself almost like she's a different person.
Yeah,
and I can
me too.
Love her and be like, she's so cute and she's so good. And like, I love Betty. So it is fun to have that distance and feel like you can watch it with like some notion of objectivity and maybe experience what the audience might have experienced at the time.
I feel like I was only able to do that like now.
Now,
you know what I mean? Now is
ready.
like the perfect time. I feel like as a teenager or like, you know, in college and stuff, it just still felt weirdly close. Whereas now it's just like, I feel like, I've lived a bunch of different lives, but.
So we've been asking, you know, people, or like I told my sort of story of how I first came upon, but you know, every actress who was Latin in LA, I'm not sure about New York, but we all auditioned for Betty, and then I guess they brought people back for whatever it was. But like, did you have to, did you get the script? Were you like, oh, I want to do this? Did they just offer it to you? Like, what was your sort of intro to Betty?
It's such a funny intro. My first like intro of even knowing that it was a thing that was happening was I ran into Selma Hayek. I didn't even know Selma Hayek. I ran into Selma at the Chateau Marmont.
Whatever.
I was on a date. Okay, whatever. I was on a date. And,
on a date?
I know, this is before Ryan. I know.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It was like 2004.
Oh my God.
Because I only met Ryan in 2005. Or maybe it was like early 2005. Anyway, so it was maybe like a year before the pilot was even like actively getting made. And I was there on a date at the chateau, and all of a sudden, like, someone like comes running up to me, and it's Selma Hayek, and she's like, "You are my ugly Betty." Sorry for that accent. And she was like, and I was like, what is she even talking about? And she was just like, we're doing this show, and it's this Colombian series, and you are my Betty. I know you're my Betty. And I was like, I have no idea what she is talking about, like none. And I remember calling my agent or emailing my agent after and being like, I just had the weirdest interaction. What is she talking about? And they're like, yes, there's this show. It's an adaptation. They're interested in you. Selma's obviously very excited. And then I didn't hear about it for like 10 months.
Oh
like that
God.
was it. I was like, okay, that's cool. But then no one ever said anything about it again. And I was like, well, maybe that's not happening. And then it was like the end of that year, it was like, I was in New York doing a off-Broadway play. I had just moved to New York to do an off-Broadway play. And I was taking classes at NYU, Marky, where you went. And then it came back around, and they were like, the pilot's happening. And I think the first thing that happened, if I'm remembering correctly, is that Sylvia Horta and Terry Weinberg came to see me in Dog Sees God, which was the play that I was doing off Broadway. And they were like, the producers want to come see you in the play and then take you to dinner after and like talk. And so they came to the play. We went to some fancy sushi restaurant in Midtown. And I like was such a nerd, and I knocked everything over. Like I literally knocked all the water over. I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm really not this clumsy. And of course they're like, you are Betty.
You're Betty.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well, they found her.
That was my audition. And actually, I'm trying to remember at what point I watched the Colombian series. At some point before the script, they sent me the series, and they were like, here's what it's based on. Watch the series. And I remember watching like the first 2 episodes and being like, this is incredible. Like, this is amazing. This is such a perfect setup. Of course, people fall in love with her. Of course, people fall in love with this. Like, it made so much sense. And honestly, I don't think I even saw a script till after my audition, or like after I got it. I don't know. Like, then eventually they were like, they want you to audition for the studio. But I was in New York doing an off-Broadway play. That's why it's nice to be out of town.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know. And they were like, okay, well, we'll put you on tape. You'll go to the studio and someone will put you on tape. So I showed up at the studio in Queens, actually, where we ended up shooting seasons 3 and 4. And there was it was the set of like Faith and Hope. Was that a show?
That was a show.
What was on?
It was like
Wasn't
a
it like
sitcom, a multicam.
And they sent like a fancy director and shot a scene on the set. I was like, oh, this is not an audition. They like filmed the scene. And it was the opening scene with me in the poncho and me being like, I like your poncho. And,
iconic.
And I remember that there was a big uproar, I think, because I think wires got crossed and hair and makeup just made me look like me instead of like bettifying me at all. And I think that there was like
so you looked like glamorous and beautiful.
I mean, thank you. Yes, I just looked like that. And then
No,
so
they gave you a lash.
That might have been a thing where they were like, how is, like she doesn't look like Ugly Betty. Anyway, then that was the audition. They put me on tape, but it was like a real scene that somebody directed on a set. And then that was that. And then I remember I was in between shows on Dog Sees God. I was like at the pizza place getting a slice around the corner and my phone rang. And I believe that was Terry and Silvio calling me. And they were like, how would you like to be our Betty? I got the part.
Oh my God. Terry's over here like emotional.
Terry's crying over there.
Did I get it right? Is she shaking her head?
Yeah.
Yes. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She had told us the story about the sushi restaurant. She
Even
was like, as soon as she knocked everything over, we were like, oh, she's Betty.
I was a complete mess.
What was your first day on set? Do you remember what you shot on your first day?
Yes, I do remember. But I also, Marky, I remember coming to do the chemistry read with you.
Oh, yeah.
Before that,
they
had me come in to do chemistry reads with like 2 or 3 boys or something. Aww. And I remember you were oh my God, you were so cute. Okay, I kind of remember. Tell me if I'm misremembering this. Maybe you don't even remember.
I don't even know if I remember.
Like right before your audition, you were like, Miss Ferrera, I just want to say. I just want to say,
Miss Ferrera,
I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm really inspired by you and your work. Do you remember?
Yes, I do because I remember very distinctly. I don't remember saying Miss Ferrera, but probably
I'm sure you were raised right.
I think you did.
The child actor.
Lenny
That's
raised
right.
You right.
You were raised right.
Yeah, the child actor jumped out. No, I remember so distinctly. Like we were sitting in the waiting room, and I think that it was like me and one other boy that was sitting there. And you got out of the elevator and I was like to my mom, it was the first time that I had ever been like starstruck because I was like, I loved Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And so this was like on the heels of that. And I just like looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, that's Carmen. And she was like, just like relax. And then obviously like I'm starting to like freak out. And but I remember everyone being so warm in the room, like Silvio and you and everyone just being like, it's fine, just like do it and whatever. And I think we did the scene on the stoop. On the
stoop, you must have. Yeah, of course.
Stoop. Yeah, but I remember that so well. And of course, you walked out and everyone was like, oh my God, that's totally him.
Oh.
With my gap teeth and my braces.
Your little braces and your Philly accent. Hello.
Hello. Still have it.
My first day on set was like kind of thrown at me because the night before, because we were supposed to shoot some scenes, and then Silvio calls me the night before and goes, so we don't have a Wilhelmina. Because the actors they'd cast, they fired.
Yep.
But they hadn't yet made the deal with Vanessa, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, so we don't have a Wilhelmina, so we're switching things around for tomorrow. We're doing this other scene, and we're turning the Wilhelmina parts into Amanda. And I probably met Becky at the table read, but like I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
None of us knew anyone really. And it was, oh my God, they just threw me right into the lion's den. It was literally the first scene was the scene where I had to walk out in the pilot in that red.
Oh, that latex. Yes.
Latex, pleather, booty shorts, halter thing.
High boot.
With all the models doing like that crazy car crash photo shoot.
Yes.
Oh.
And me going to like you look like you're gonna vomit.
No, I'm just like, oh God, I feel so bad for you.
And all the models laughing at you.
Like the hardest part of the pilot. It was the first thing we shot. And then it was like me running out and Daniel coming behind me and me being like, you think I'm a joke. And it was like, it was very trauma. Yeah.
Right into the fire. I mean, like, that's the thing.
Real.
Because.
And then we ended up reshooting that scene or doing like not a complete reshoot, but they wanted like, I think they ended up just like adding a shot, but we ended up reshooting that moment where I walk out of the dressing room in that outfit and they're all laughing at me. I was like, great, would love to go back to this moment. Not and not now America. Now America would not care. But 21-year-old America was, having some trouble. And we had to reshoot it. But then at the end of the day, they only ended up like inserting one like shot of me making a face so that I didn't look so sad. That was the
You were too sad.
Well, it's traumatizing.
They're like, this is verging on depressing.
Yeah, this is like devastating.
So sad. Yeah.
We have a lot to say about sort of Betty's. So we do a whole thing of like, fashion flops and fashion faves of each episode. But since this is the beginning of it all, do you have, it's really difficult because with Betty, we couldn't really do like a fashion flop because you weren't a flop necessarily, but you were always so eccentric looking. Like Betty's looks were always so sort of Betty.
Right.
Did you have any sort of involvement in like creating her vibe or her whole because she was never like dumpy or frumpy or anything like that.
No, it was very realized.
It was very cool. Yeah, like now that's what people are rocking.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the genius of Pat Field, right? It's like it takes someone who really knows what they're doing to do bad well.
That's right.
Like to do something that looks quote unquote bad, but actually is so fun to look at and for some reason works and shouldn't work. And that's Pat Field's genius. And the thing that I remember before the pilot, there was so much talk around like, obviously, what was Betty going to look like? How are we going to pull off this network ugly, right? Where she's ugly, quote unquote, the fish out of water and looks kind of a mess to these fashion people, but also not unsightly and unseemly because God forbid we, perturb the network gods who need to look at pretty people on television. But it was like, are they gonna draw on pimples? I remember that was a conversation. And it was like, were we gonna do like bangs or no bangs and glasses and how ridiculous is the clothing gonna get? And I remember, we had tried on a million different things. And finally we got to something that Pat liked. And she was like, yes. And she was like looking at me. And then there were all these glasses on a table and I had tried on all these glasses and it was like, no. And then Pat takes the glasses off her face, puts them on me, and they're Betty's iconic red glasses were Pat Field's glasses.
I love that.
That's so awesome.
There was this moment when the glasses went on and we looked in the mirror and it was like, that's her. Like I just got the chills thinking about that moment because it was like, it was such a yes. It was such a like, she's here. Like she's arrived. This is our Betty. And so, it was so fun to really like explore and find it together. And Pat was always so collaborative and also just like such a genius. I feel like I learned so much about good tailoring, about good fitting, like how things should fit my body. Like it was like being in a master class every time I was in a
It was. I always
fitting
loved the
or-
fittings. I thought the fittings were some of the most fun times I ever had.
For sure.
Like,
Well, I hated them because I was always exhausted and they'd bring me in and
I know, well,
2 hours earlier than mine. But then once I got in the clothing, it was so fun.
I mean, I think that in watching it too, because from the pilot to then moving to LA, right, is that Pat didn't do, we're talking about the first season. So like Pat only did the pilot, but I feel like there were a few characters, namely the, of course, of Betty, but I thought that Hilda and Wilhelmina were pretty real, or not Wilhelmina, Mark were pretty like, Michael, like it transitioned over like pretty well to
I
Los
think
Angeles.
Hilda and Mark were definitely the most realized for that time. I think Wilhelmina had some growing pains.
Well, I mean, what we're talking, another caveat to this segment of flop or fierce or whatever we're calling it is there's been a lot of hair stories told on this show.
Girl, the wigs of it all. Yo, the wigs.
Its own podcast, like the hair.
No, for real.
It is no, truly. I'm talking
like,
mostly about the hair.
We actually have to have moments about your wig in the first couple of
moments of silence.
Like,
just like, what the fuck is that?
What is happening?
I think it was. Wait, did it look like a wig?
Girl, it looked like plastic hair.
I at one point
Party
Hilda,
City Halloween type of wig.
At one point Hilda has like, I had like, it looked like a horsetail just glued onto the side of my head. Yeah, like go back and look at it. It looks bonkers.
Bananas.
Like I was like, what are we?
God.
What is happening?
And we also have been talking about how Wilhelmina's poof on top of her head, as the episode will go on, it just grows larger and larger and larger until she has like a Marie Antoinette kind of situation going on.
Story is
unreal.
It took a while for us all to find our.
Well, also, I think part of it was like because there was so much sort of turmoil with the with getting the show and having support from the network and having support from the powers that be. So we had like, we were trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. So it's like, I did probably have a ponytail from Party City.
Yeah. Well, listen, no problem.
It
was like, like a $3 ponytail that they like bobby pinned.
You could have,
I didn't make it. I didn't make it any easier on the hair and makeup team because so for the pilot, we shot the pilot in New York and then we moved to LA. But for the pilot, they made a decision to use my hair,
right?
But like glue on every day like a weft.
I didn't know that it was your hair in the pilot.
So it was my hair that they would fry every single effing day, fry it and make it frizzy and big and then tease it all day. So, would come home destroyed. And then they would glue. They would glue, and then they'd peel the glue off, and it like destroyed.
I can't.
Like, my hairline had like receded back.
How did we not know this?
I can't. Wait, I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, the hair drama started early.
The hair drama.
When the pilot ended, we didn't even know if the show was going. But I was like, my hair was so destroyed, and I was also like traumatized from like how long it would take and how whatever. I was just walking down the street one day in New York, like past a salon, and I was like, I'm chopping it off. Like it was so then I went and like chopped it off to my ears, like this crazy pixie cut that I never should have gotten at some random salon in New York. And I was like,
get me a wig.
If the show goes, they'll have to use a wig because like my hair's going to be destroyed. And so then the pilot did get picked up and then I had no hair and like they couldn't even do like bangs or anything. So I kind of added to the drama because I kind of chopped all my hair off. And then at first, you guys, the first solution was to get I wonder if we did any episodes with this version of it, was to give me extensions, but my own hair was very, very short. So they gave me these extensions, and you. Like, no. God. My hair is so curly, and the extensions were like 6 straight, like like East Indian hair. And I'd wake up in the morning, and the extensions would be 6 straight, and my hair was.
I'm dead. Oh my God.
Wait, so they really they glued them in, or like they sewed them into your head at a certain point?
Yeah, they sewed them in. I mean, I think they sent me somewhere to get the extensions, but it was the most frightening thing ever. It was like, woke up in the morning, and I think Ryan was just like, no.
Jesus.
And waking up with like my hair in an afro, but the hair just came down was incredible. I'm so curious if we ever even shot.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like
I think it was so awful that they were like,
no.
One of us would have remembered.
I mean, no, the wigs are crazy, but not like that.
No, not that.
No, they would of course straighten my hair.
No, I know, no. You could tell this was a wig.
No, you could tell it was a wig.
Yeah.
And then, we struggled with the like drawing on my brows. What are my brows supposed to look like? Are they going to glue like individual hairs to my face, and then they're moving all day, and then there's an eyebrow hair up on my forehead in the middle of a take, and like then it was like no, we'll draw them on, but then they'd look like caterpillars. It was a real
saga.
It was a real journey to find it. It was a real journey.
Even getting to now, we've watched quite a few that it's like before this aired, but that you start to see that it starts to become like even better and better as time goes on.
Oh,
but
for sure.
the first few episodes were very
growing pains.
Yeah. There was the plastic hair, but we I love this question. Wait, hold on. We just heard and saw you hysterically laughing for real. But one of the things that Anna and I have always made fun of you for is not being able to fake laugh.
Oh my God. Do you remember you used to make poor Chris Gorham? Because this is later on in the season, y'all, but bear with us. Like when Henry comes through, when Chris Gorham's character Henry comes through, and he would have to like make you giggle and laugh. And he would tell a stupid joke, and you were like, that's not funny. You're not making me laugh.
What can I say? I'm sorry. It wasn't making me laugh.
But that would make you laugh, telling him he wasn't funny. But then we weren't rolling.
And if I would just laugh bad, then I would laugh for real at myself.
That's
right.
But that is still true to this day. I don't know how to fake laugh, which makes me think like there's something wrong with my deep soul. Like, what's wrong with me that I can't kind of laugh? I just feel like you in particular, Anna, I really, really like envy this in you. You can laugh at anything. And which is sad because I also love making you laugh, and I never know if it's real or not because you're like the best fake laugher.
She does have a really good fake laugh.
I do have a good fake laugh, but I do generally find a lot of shit funny.
Mm-hmm.
You find a lot funny, and that's what I envy. I'm like, I wish that I was quick to laugh at everything, and I'm just a little bit more. Yeah, that's how I want to be more like you in the way that you're like so generous with your laughter. And apparently I'm a stingy bitch.
You are not.
You are like, no,
you
that
are
was not funny.
I can't fake it. But it is also true that I could never hold in my laughter.
That's right.
How many takes did I ruin?
Oh, those are the best. I wish we had the outtakes of all of those.
I mean, I feel like there's I don't know if those blooper reels. Yeah, the blooper reels exist somewhere. Terry's saying that she has them. We should watch them.
That
we should watch them.
Part of your show.
We definitely should.
For sure.
Wait. Go ahead.
No, you.
No, you.
Oh, do you remember Do you remember when we were shooting the pilot? Can I tell the story again?
Yes, you can. You can tell the story.
When we all went out to lunch, we were shooting the family scene. We went out to lunch, you, me, and Tony, and Marky. And we were coming up and you were like, you guys, it feels like, we just feel like such a real family. This is so amazing. Like, Tony, you feel like my dad. And Anna, you're just like my crazy sister. And Marky, just like this cute little, my gay nephew. And Marky turns around and he goes, Justin's gay?
Oh my God, I do remember that. Horrendously, I remember that. And the thing is I don't think you guys let me in on Marky, like his reaction, because I was just like, Tony, you're like my dad, and Anna, you're just like my sister, and Mark, it's like you're my gay nephew. And then he just like looked at me and smiled, and then we like hugged, and then like I walked away all Betty like, and then I think he probably turned to you and was like, Justin's gay.
Wait, what?
That must have been.
I was the last to know. But then watching it, I came in and was just like, gay. The gayest gay.
Wait. But Mark, okay,
What?
Hold on. I know you're doing the interview, but like, I mean, that was a journey for you.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what the question is. Like, so I'm the one who broke it to you that Justin was gay. And
Probably.
and I remember like those moments where like the press was like awful to you and they'd ask you really awful questions.
Yeah.
And was it like, did you ever find, I don't know, did you ever like, I mean, obviously like when we were on set, like we did nothing but love you and surround you with like so much fun and laughter and joy and fun. But like, was it hard the whole way through? Did it ever get easier to like be this kid who people projected so much onto?
I think it got harder as I got older. I think that there was such an innocence of like the kind of the first 2 seasons of just because I never was even thinking about my sexuality at that time. I think that when I started kind of like discovering who I was and what my sexuality was as I like went into teenage years, I think it got harder to deal with because it was like on one hand, I was surrounded by so much love and support, but then it was like the opposite by like the press and stuff like that. So I kind of was like, is it okay for me to be gay or not? Or, you know, I kind of was struggling with that. And I think that that's part of the reason why I didn't really watch the show until now. And so now it feels so far away that, and I've done so, I mean, you know, I've come so far and I'm so like proud of my sexuality and like, it's just, I don't even really think about it as such anymore. And also socially and culturally, I think that a lot has changed, I think, you know, based on.
But you really were like the first sort of kid, you know, young kid who was I mean, it was obvious that you were gay. It was referenced all the time on the show. You know, you're sort of like you know, even in that episode, the Halloween episode where, again, we'll get there, you guys, but you know, where it's like, you know, I hope the kid knows how to throw a punch. And like, it was just constantly sort of alluded to of that. It wasn't said outright, but it was definitely in the script, you know, it was definitely in the story.
I mean, there was,
and nobody else was doing that at the time.
No, I mean, but nobody else was doing a lot of stuff that we did on the show. I mean, like,
that's true. Has that sort of been, I mean, we're watching it and it's so incredible how there was so much that we touched on that's now coming around again and still is sort of even more at the forefront. The immigration, the healthcare, especially within the Suarez family, that sort of thing that we were dealing with. And we did with such like empathy, but also such humor, and it was never like finger wagging. Did you have any, like, what was that? I know what that we sort of talk about a little bit for us, but how was that for you? Because that was your, you know, show.
I was always so proud of that part of it, you know, and I think, and I agree with you, like, because it was a comedy and the writers always strived to make it about the characters, we were able to do so much. And And just by these characters and the brilliant actors playing them, you had so much love for them that the writers had so much latitude with what they could explore. Yes, I remember the health, like the storyline about Papi and like his health insurance, and obviously the deportation, and of course Justin's ongoing identity. But I also remember like one of my favorite episodes, season 3 or 4, was like the one where Mark and I are in competition for this one spot at this like junior editor training thing, and and then it becomes all about like a DEI issue,
right?
Like
I forgot all about that.
I haven't seen it.
That I got the job because I was DEI, and dealing with that, and like you're right, there was, and I haven't gone back and watched it, and my sense is that there's probably some jokes that like we wouldn't be able to tell today.
Oh, girl, we have a whole we have a whole section that we say like leave it or keep it.
Yeah. Like, could you say that in 2025?
Yeah.
And the whole thing of like Rebecca playing trans, right? I mean, at the time, it was huge because there had not been a regular trans character, like a series regular trans character on a broadcast show that way. So it was like huge, this big progressive step forward. And these days, we'd get canceled for not casting a trans person in that role. And so it's like you've got to watch it with that, with that in mind of like, we only lived it forward and lived in the time that we were in. But I agree that, to me, it was the balance of the show, why it was so emotional and heartwarming, but funny and ridiculous. It like, they weren't afraid to touch a lot of real issues. And I do think that the Suarez family is what gave the show so much grounding and so much heart, and why we could explore the issues of, class inequality and all of that stuff. Like, to me, that was the real magic of the show.
Yeah, it's so interesting because we did have sort of the heart of the Suarez, where the heart of the show, which was I think the Suarez house, but then you go to Mode and it's like the thing is that with Mark and Wilhelmina and Amanda constantly sort of, like pranking you and dogging you out and like constantly like making fun of you, it was so hilarious and so much fun. I mean, it looked fun from us, but I mean, it couldn't have ever just sort of like worn down on you.
No. Oh my God, it made me laugh.
I mean, those blooper reels, because I think that's when you really broke up, was like because working with Michael Urie.
But I think that's why it worked, because I think underneath people could tell how much love there was, even in the characters, like they were horrified by her. But you could tell, in the genius of Michael and Becky, and also just how much we all loved each other much, that it was like the teasing was there and the awfulness was there, but you knew that there was love underneath it. And I never felt anything but like so much joy playing those scenes. And because we just broke all the time and laughed and tried to like, one up each other, and it was just such a blast.
And then Ashley would come through, and at least you had her, you had Christina on your side, always sort of like taking up for you when she was so flippin' funny. We were talking about how she had said Terry said that they at one point were thinking like maybe that she should do an American accent and not do her Scottish accent, and it was like, that's bananas.
You couldn't imagine.
Because the conceit, the conceit of Vanessa never being able to understand what she says. I can't understand her, Mark. What did she say?
What is she saying?
I remember that in the pilot, I'll never forget that there was a line the first time that I'm in the closet in the pilot, and she's talking to me, and she said something about like burlap. Like something burlap. And every time I hear the word burlap, I just think of Ashley.
So she's the coolest. So all right.
What did you I know that, I remember when we finished the show, and I remember the very last time, the very last like Suarez moment. I remember everyone just not being able to kind of control themselves. But what did it feel like saying goodbye to her?
In the pilot or at the end of the series?
At
the end of the series.
Oh my God, it was so devastating. I mean, and I had to do it twice because I remember our last. Oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I remember our last night in Queens, like in front of the house.
Yeah.
Hannah, are you gonna cry too?
I remember because I have all these pictures because Paloma was there. Sorry. She was like a little baby.
Stop, guys.
Oh my God, we're so ridiculous.
We are.
That was like not expected. Why am I so emotional? That was such a hard night. I mean, I just remember like it was just so much love. It's like so grateful for that it happened. And I think the true thing about really all of us on the show is I don't think we took a second of it for granted. Like I think we were all, for the whole 4 years, for the whole 88, how many episodes did we do? I don't know, 84, 88 episodes. I just feel like we understood the magic that we were getting to live with each other. And it was just devastating. Every time I'd shoot my last scene with, I remember my last scene with Becky and Michael, and we just all got into one trailer and cried and hugged each other, and my last scene with Wilhelmina, or so it like the goodbyes happened. But I remember our last scene in New York was in Queens in front of the house. And I remember Betty having to drive away in the car and turn around and say goodbye. And it was just like, it was devastating. I remember like that. I just slept for, I don't know, like 17 hours. After
I think you actually did sleep for 17 hours after that. I remember that so vividly.
But then my last scene was in London.
Oh, yeah.
Eric and I had the last Betty Daniel scene in Leicester Square, but then I had my very last moment like alone in front of a West End theater where Betty was meeting some like random London friend or whatever and I remember too, it felt so lonely because the camera was like across the street and like Silvio and Richard and Victor were all like behind the monitor across the street. And I was like by myself on this random street in London, and they yelled, "That's a wrap." And I was like all by myself
in London,
like numb, like not understanding what it meant for the show to be over. And like it took like a good couple minutes for everyone else to get across the street. So that but it was such a surreal thing. It felt like there were multiple ends, but that like very, very last end was, and again, I feel like it took me forever to process it, that it was really like over because it was just like, it was a dream. I mean, obviously we all had our challenges in it. Every experience has its ups and downs, but I just feel like none of us ever wavered in knowing like that we had lightning in a bottle, and particularly like with all these people that we loved so much and still love so much.
Yeah.
Did you keep anything? Did you take anything like from set? Do you have things?
What's the statute of limitations?
Girl,
we've discussed how we took everything.
Vanessa brought a moving van. It took like her whole furniture set. What did you take?
I took the original poncho. I think I have it. I think Pat Field gave it to me.
That's right.
Or one of the original ponchos. I'm sure there's more than one, but and I every Sunday I take it out and I wear it all day. And you're like, "Mom, that's really creepy. Will you stop?" No, I'm kidding. I don't. No, I don't. I've never found cause to put it on.
That would be so iconic, though. If you're like,
it'd be so sad.
You just sit around.
No, but I'll never forget you two after rap, like running around the Suarez house, like grabbing shit.
I have the Hills of Utility sign.
This was on the back of the. This is mine. This was on the back of the couch, eh?
This was the real one from the couch.
I did. That's the real one from
Yeah.
the couch?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have like little knickknacks and things, you know what I mean? I have like one like end table, but I have like little lamps and things like that. I was just grabbing stuff. Yeah, but I was curious. I was curious if you had the braces too.
I think I do. We also had a bajillion sets of braces.
Yeah.
Oh, those braces.
I know. And this is like, of course, jumping seasons ahead. But like the greatest irony of those damn braces is that the whole time I had my perfect smile, those ugly braces underneath, and in the episode where the braces come off, I went into rehearse, and it was something in the scene. Betty's braces get stuck. Do you remember this?
Oh, yes.
On the dress that's on a mannequin. And so the only way to get her off the dress and not ruin the dress is for them to call in a doctor and take the braces off. And that's like how Betty's braces come off. And we were rehearsing the scene in the moment where my teeth get stuck to the thing. And I run into the mannequin and really chip my front tooth.
Like, no, I don't remember this.
Like a third of my tooth. And it was like, are you kidding me? Like in the episode where the braces come off and I'm supposed to have perfect teeth. Like literally on the day that the braces were.
That is outrageous.
And they had like some emergency orthodontist come to the set and like put some sort of, cap on it to get me through the day. And then it was a nightmare. But yeah, that was the great irony of those damn braces.
You do have perfect teeth.
Yeah. And also that those braces were on for a long time when your teeth were so perfect.
Why did Betty have braces on for
3 years? Yeah, like 10 years.
I just assumed they didn't have the money to get them off. Like, I don't know.
We'll suspend disbelief for that one.
Yeah.
I'll ask you. Let's talk about the Golden Globes, because that happened like a second out of the gate. Mm-hmm. I think we had aired like 3 episodes, and
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, well, because we premiered in September. Yeah, and then the Globes are in January. Oh, so definitely maybe like
the nominations came out.
The nominations came earlier. Yeah,
but I think it was.
That was such a dream. I mean,
well, I'll tell you what, then our hair budget came up a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
Stopped having to wear Party City ponytails.
I mean, and I'm sure you guys agree. Like, it just feels like, it felt like, like a fever dream. Like you're on like you're in a crazy cloudy haze and you're not really experiencing any of it like in the present moment. I don't know. Like for me, it was like my first time ever at like a major award show. We're nominated for everything. The show wins. I win. Like, it was just like, it was such a crazy whirlwind. And I remember that. I'm so glad we have that one picture of all of us.
I know.
That Allendale like had framed.
Yes,
and,
I do love that.
I mean, I still have that very prominently displayed in my office, but it's I mean, I feel like that night was such a fever dream, and I mean, I'd love, I don't know, I guess it was perfect.
It was perfect. It was like, and then I think that was really you're right. It was like getting shot out of a cannon all of a sudden.
Well, because we got nominated for didn't we get nominated for like 12 Golden Globes? Like, it was like everything and everyone got nominated.
Yeah.
So insane. Right? I think so.
Terry shaking her head yes.
Like,
so then
writing, directing, guest star, like all of it. Like, it was huge. It was crazy. I remember like people coming to the set the next day. And, it's like when this was my first time on a television show. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't know how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you too, Mark, obviously.
Yeah.
I too. I mean, I think most of us actually, except for Vanessa and
Is that
Judith.
true, Anna? That was your first time.
I had done like a guest star
pilot.
on NYPD Blue.
Oh.
Oh no, that's not true. I did do a show with Kristen Chenoweth. I did a multicam sitcom, but we shot, I don't know, I think we shot like 10 and they aired 4 and it got canceled.
Well,
but that was a multicam.
Yeah, I mean, it was Yuri's first. I know.
And Becky.
It kind of like ruined all of us,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because it's like, not only is it the best group of people ever, not only are you having the best freaking time making it, but then like people love it as much as you love it, which is like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then you get nominated for all these awards.
For everything.
Like, it just felt like this feels like a crazy, weird dream.
Yeah.
And then it just also like set the bar too high and sent us all to therapy after the show.
Yeah.
Well, at least
that's
though,
right.
I will say, if I went through it with any group of people, I'm glad it was us, because there was still a groundedness to it. I think with all of us there, was. It just was that.
I don't find that anyone got, even after all of that success, were like affected by it. Though.
Do people still? Because you've done so. I mean, my God, just with the Barbie and the Oscar of it all alone. But like, do people still mention Betty to you at all? Or
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Betty's still like a huge part of what people think of me as, and I love it. And now that it's on streaming, and people who weren't even alive when we finished the show.
That's the whole new
discovering it.
audience of it all.
Yeah.
Is that's happening.
Anna, has Paloma watched? Have your kids
Well,
watched?
I mean, Rafi couldn't care less, but Paloma, Paloma has. She loves it. But we're doing the rewatch now, so we're doing the, and I'm having to
Yeah. I mean, I love that because now I have friends with like 10-year-olds, and they're like, I'm watching Ugly Betty with my 10-year-old, and it's the way we watch every night.
Which is so crazy.
It's like, it's so sweet.
All right, so here's our surprise.
Okay,
we're gonna
hold,
bring
please.
in for you.
Is it a puppy?
It's a puppy. No, we're just gonna bring into surprise, and you can sort of, take it from there. Puppy!
The gang's all back together.
The Suarez familia.
Puppy in the house.
Puppy in the house.
Oh my God.
I can't believe we have all the Suarez in one spot again.
Yes, we do.
I mean, as if we haven't been together in 15 years, please.
Yeah, I know, but
I can't forget South by Southwest. That was amazing.
That was so fun when we all went there.
So fun.
So fun.
So, now that
we mentioned the moment, I don't know if you remember, America, right before we did our first scene. I can't remember exactly where we were, but you said we held hands, and you said, let's remember this moment before we embark on this journey, right?
Oh,
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget that. Do you guys remember that?
I do. Now that you mention it, I
absolutely
remember that.
There was something about you. You said this moment is important, and then we had this 4-year journey.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You always you were that girl. So, now that we have you, we've been asking everybody. We asked, but so when we do the the limited series, a reboot, are you in?
Oh my God, 100%. Everyone knows that. I always say that.
Yeah.
And I think we all would. I think every single one of us would
Everyone has said. Everyone is like, it's like an emphatic yes.
Like when?
Yeah,
when?
Right.
So let's talk about, just like while we have us all here together, Tone, we were saying how like the Suarez of it all was really sort of the heart of the show, whereas like you could go to mode and there was like all the fun and fashion, all of that. But I think we were really sort of the, America said it earlier, just sort of the grounding of the show, even though we
were the real normal people.
Yeah.
Kind of normal.
Normal, but I'm
normal
saying
for queens.
Yeah, but it's more kind of a kind of a human way. I mean, those people in mode were in the stratosphere somewhere of their own little making, right? So I love the contrast. Yeah, go ahead.
Some of my favorite moments were when the people from Mode would come to the Suarez house.
Loved.
Like those
The
were
Christmas episode with Daniel decorating that tree broke my heart when he says, I never got to do this.
like when Mark came out to his mom, Patty LuPone,
Yeah.
at the house. And
No,
when,
I was talking about Daniel when he decorates the Christmas tree.
Yes.
We're all decorating it, and he says, "I've never done this before.
He's never
It's
decorated
always
a
done
tree.
professionally at my house."
yeah.
Yeah.
And when Claire Mead comes over, when Judith
Oh
comes
my
over,
God.
and then there was that amazing episode where Becky and Michael came over, and like
Yes.
Hola.
it was like
Yes.
Hola.
Oh yeah, and she's like
I know.
housing the flan.
There's an H in it.
Yes.
After Tony corrects her.
Yes, I feel like it completely, the tone of the house, as even though of course it was striking that balance of like making it the tone feel consistent and like we all lived in kind of the same world, but that at the Suarez house there was like a deep reality that like would set in, and where, at least for me, where Betty could kind of always fall apart and be vulnerable and not be like the perfect good one who was above everything. Like Betty was a brat, and she was a little bit selfish, and like it was so nice to have that. It felt like such a haven, like such a safe space.
Even the Mode people would come there, and that's like, to your point, Tony, that's where they would sort of fall apart. That's where they could let their hair down, and that's where
I think more down to earth. It's just part of the earthiness, I think, the groundedness, like you said, America, of that family.
Yeah, it's so funny that I never thought of it like that before. But you're right. That's where Daniel came to fall apart. That's where Mark had his moment with his mother. That's where sort of even Amanda's character, she would come and sort of be vulnerable. Like when she housed that entire plate of flan, and then Tony, you had to bring more, and but she would eat with us, and like it just, you're right. I never sort of actually had that viewpoint of it, but you're right. That's where everybody could sort of come and just be real and be human and grounded for a while. I love that. I've never put that to
I think America's right that those scenes in the house with Mode people was really where the two worlds collide and interact, and I think where you really see all those forces that I think made the show so resonant and so relevant is where the upper class and the lower class, or the working class, kind of come together, and it contrasts the two worlds in a way that was really compelling, I thought, and really kind of defined Betty, because she was in both worlds, right?
Yeah, really was able to do that. I'm so excited about us doing a reboot. I cannot even tell you.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that you took the time to come through
thanks so much,
today.
Monkey.
And Tony, you came in and gave us our little poppy moment. I reserve the right to call you both back for whatever it is that we need from you. We need from you. I know, you're
I'm
super
curious,
busy.
America, have your kids seen Ugly Betty?
No, they've seen pictures of Ugly Betty because I think someone at school told them, your mom is Ugly Betty. And then Lucia came home one day and said, Mom, are you Ugly Betty? And I was like, I played a character named Betty on a show called Ugly Betty. And then she didn't say anything. And then a couple days later was like, can I see a picture of you as Ugly Betty? And then I showed it to her, and then I'll text all three of you. But oh my God, but I had a friend send me, when I had Baz, the first Halloween baby costume is a baby Guadalajara poncho. And
oh my God.
A wig, glasses, and like a pacifier with braces on it.
That's so cute.
I have a picture of both of the kids wearing it next to me.
Oh,
and I'll text it to you.
I know,
it's
we
like
need
the best
that
picture ever. So they've heard tell of Betty, but they've
not yet.
Seen the show.
Not yet.
But eventually,
they will.
Eventually.
And so,
like my daughter won a contest because she was Ugly Betty on our first season.
I remember that.
And she said, "What are you?" I said, "What are you going to be for Halloween?" I said, "I'm going to be Ugly Betty's daughter."
I'm going to be Nacho Suarez.
I just wore an old sweater.
Well, I remember that first Halloween. that the WeGo Pride Parade, like one of the number one costumes.
That's when you know.
I recall that, yeah.
I remember that.
So many people.
Betty, and it was like, okay, we're on to something.
We're on to something.
If the gays are loving it.
If the gays approve and they want to dress like her, then yes.
America, tell us about what you're doing right now. You're promoting. What are you on your press tour for?
I'm on a press tour for The Lost Bus.
Oh my God.
Which is like Ugly Betty, but not at all. It's a action thriller, but based on a true story of the wildfire in California in 2018, Paradise, California. It's still the deadliest wildfire in Southern California. And Paul Greengrass, brilliant director, Captain Phillips, Born Identity movies, Bloody Sunday, directed it, and Matthew McConaughey and I star. He's a bus driver, I'm a teacher, and we have to rescue 22 kids from the middle of the fire, and it's a true story.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
So now you're an action hero on top of everything else. Yeah. Like, what can't you do, my love?
You're an action star now. Damn. Yeah.
Action, comedy, drama.
I can't get in between Mark and Anna. That's for dang sure.
You can't get an invite to our party.
And full circle, and we're back to that.
Back. She's Papi. She's
Girl,
still giving her shit.
Oh,
nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Tony, thank you so much.
Yeah, my internet for some reason.
Oh, we love you guys.
We love you guys so much.
We're Tony, are you doing anything you want to tell us about?
Yeah.
I know last time we asked you, you didn't know your Instagram handle.
I just did a couple of episodes of Only Murders in the Building.
Ooh.
Oh, great.
With my buddies from Three Amigos.
That's
Steve Martin,
right.
Martin Short.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh.
I just did a movie with Jennifer Lopez, Office Romance, with Brett Goldstein, the guy from Ted Lasso.
Okay.
He won a couple of Emmys on that show. Also, he's a writer on Shrinking with Michael Urie.
Yes, that's right. He plays the football.
Michael just got an Emmy nomination.
Yeah,
I know.
Yes, I saw him there.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Thank you guys for coming on. We love you so much.
Love and adore you.
Love you back.
We love you. We love the Suarez. Catch us on the reboot.
Yeah, we'll be back. Yo.
Iconic. Amazing.
It's iconic because I feel like we talk so much about, like, we all have very similar stories that we share all the time.
Yeah.
But she really dropped like some nuggets of information that I had no idea about, namely that of the hair, the bangs, the bangs. I could not, and the extensions. I can't even believe it.
Because I can picture it totally, absolutely. I can picture it. I wish we had a photograph.
I had no idea about that.
I would make her post it.
God, so incredible.
She's our sister. She
That's
is
right.
our, it's so funny how it's as if we just saw each other yesterday. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing.
And how we quote unquote ice her out. How she's the third wheel.
She has said that since day dot.
Get a grip.
I have to say, we do kind of rub it in, though.
We definitely, yeah. I mean, we're not quiet about it, but it's funny now. But thanks for joining us, guys. That was so much fun. And we're going to be back next week with season 2, episode 2, The Box and the Bunny.
And we're going to have the Gina Gambaro, Ava Gaudette.
So awesome.
Legend, gorgeous. She hasn't changed a day. I'm furious.
And she loves the show just as much as we do. So that's going to be so much fun. All right, guys.
Viva Betty.